Hi, this is Steve Harper from YourCreativeLife.com, talking today about the difference between agents and managers for writers, and answering a few other questions like, do you need both to support and enhance your career? That's what today's about. Now, this is a question that a lot of people have asked me that comes up often as writers get started in the industry in their lives. And the short answer is you don't need both, but you might want both. And I will talk about that in a moment. But first, the difference between agents and managers. The main difference, right away, I can tell you that agents who represent writers are licensed by the state, and they are permitted by law to commission a writer for 10% of what they help that writer get. Or, in some instances, if you get any writing job and you're represented by an agent, 10% goes to that agent, but no more than 10%. Now, agents then help you get opportunities. They might introduce you to managers, not to managers, but to executives. They actually might introduce you to managers, but more importantly, and more lucratively, they might introduce you to jobs themselves, executives or producers or development companies, people who want to create new material or people who are staffing a writer's room. Agents can connect you with some of those people, and then it's up to you to do the work of having the meeting and potentially, hopefully, getting the job. That's what agents do. Now, and agents are a little bit more formal, I think, in general, than managers. Agents might wear a suit and a tie. And it's really sort of like a corporate vibe that agents have, even though they deal in this sort of creative space. And there are big agencies and small agencies. There are huge, famous agencies like CAA or, WME, and then there are smaller, more boutique-y agencies. But agents on either level will basically do the same thing for 10% of a writer's earnings. Now, managers, on the other hand, also represent writers, but are not licensed by the state. And so their approach to representing writers is a little looser, perhaps, and a little more creative. On the first tip, whereas agents can only commission for 10%, a manager could commission for maybe more than 10%, depending on that manager and what that manager negotiates with the writer. So there are managers out there who commission 15% of a writer's income and could also do 10%. It just depends. So there's a little more flexibility in the space of what the manager can charge in terms of that commission. But the other big thing about the difference between managers and agents is managers are a lot less formal. You might find a manager dressed the way I'm dressing now, collared shirt, much more relaxed, probably almost never a suit and tie unless he or she is going to some sort of formal event. But different vibe, more relaxed. The thing about managers is that managers are more likely to invest in a writer's long-term growth. They might have conversations about business strategy and the future and classes that writer might take or programs that writer might apply to, in addition to some of the other things that agents would do as well. So managers also will be connected to jobs and opportunities that they'll put forth for the writer, like meetings with executives, meetings with showrunners, meetings for TV show jobs, meetings for film jobs. All of those things are the same in the space of the agent and the manager. But again, the manager may charge more of a commission and will look at more of a holistic view of a writer's life. Now, do you need both? As I said before, no. You really only need one or the other. And, it just depends on you. I would say whoever you end up working with, if you end up with an agent or a manager, you're with somebody who gets you, who understands your vibe, who understands your skill, who understands your personality, who's easy to talk to. And for you, that might be a specialized person. For you, that might be a woman or it might be a person of color, or it might be a person who has a certain vibe or deals with, say, sci-fi or with horror writers more than others. Who knows? But that's the most important thing, that you make a deep professional connection with that person so that they can represent you very well. Now, although you don't need both an agent and a manager, it might be good to have both, because it really simply means, in terms of the Hollywood industry space, more people canvassing for you in more places. So whereas my manager might know these people really well, these executives, these producers, blah, 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 my agent perhaps knows another set of producers. There is some overlap, but it just makes more sense for me, and I appreciate it, that the canvassing for me and my work is going out farther and wider than if I only had one of those entities representing me. But you do you really only need one in order to establish and to further your career. And in fact, down the line, I will tell you this, I also have an attorney, and you don't need an attorney certainly when you're starting out, but when you get to the higher levels and you need to negotiate contracts in a specific way, as I do, then that attorney will also be part of the team that does the contracts and that helps figure out the money. And attorneys generally take 5% of a given writer's income. So you can imagine that if you have an agent who asks for 10% and a manager, say 10 or 15%, and a lawyer, say 5%, you could end up giving or spending 30% of your income to those people, but it might be worth it for you in order to get your name out there in a way that's really effective in the world of TV and film writing. So that's the deal with agents and managers. I hope that covers it for you. Like this video if you appreciate it. Subscribe to this channel. Check out the other videos on this channel that go from soup to nuts in terms of all sorts of things about the TV, specifically the TV writing life, and let me know what else you'd like to see. Certainly leave a comment in the comment section below this video, and check out all of the offerings at my website, yourcreativelife.com, where you can find out about coaching. There's plenty of free stuff like links to this YouTube channel. You can sign up for my monthly newsletter, which offers advice and thoughts about the writing life. And you can also find a link on the website under the free stuff tab to the Secret Writer podcast, which is a podcast that I host with Nick Job, who's also a writer and a writing coach. We call it Therapy for Writers because it looks at the inside psyche of what it is like to be writing in Hollywood on a regular basis, and all of the things we think about, that we approach, that we deal with, and how to survive and thrive in that space. Thanks for watching.